Hello everyone, my name is Grace Medivalanani and I'm an English teacher from SJKT Ladang Perak Valley. Today I'm pleased to share my action research entitled Improving English Speaking Confidence through the Read, Repeat, Respond 3R technique among low proficiency SJKT pupils. As an English teacher in an under-enrolled school, I often observe that many pupils lacked the confidence to communicate in English even when they understood the lesson. This inspired me to develop a simple classroom strategy called the Read, Repeat, Respond or 3R technique to encourage pupils to speak English with greater confidence. Now, let me begin by explaining the problem that led to this study. So, let's talk further about the problem that led to this research. I work in an under-enrolled school where year 4 and year 5 pupils learn together in one English classroom. So, although the pupils were willing to learn, they faced several challenges, like they had limited vocabularies, weak pronunciations, and most importantly, low confidence in speaking English. During lessons, many pupils were reluctant to answer questions even when they knew the answers. As a result, classroom interaction was minimal and opportunities to practice speaking in English are very limited. So these challenges motivated me to find a simple teaching strategy that could encourage every pupil to speak confidently in English, especially during English lesson. So this research was guided by three objectives. First, to improve pupils' English oral communication. Second, to increase their confidence in speaking English. Finally, to encourage greater classroom participation through the implementation of the read, repeat, respond or the 3R technique. The participants consisted of six pupils from a combined year 4 and year 5 classroom. They were selected mainly because it was my class and they consistently demonstrated low confidence and limited oral communication during their English lessons. Their mixed proficiency levels also reflected the reality of teaching in a small rural school, making this intervention highly practical and relevant. The research followed five stages. First, I identified the classroom problem. Second, I conducted a pre-assessment to determine the pupil's baseline speaking ability. Next, the 3R technique was then implemented over 4 weeks after the intervention. Pupils completed a post-assessment. And finally, I reflected on the effectiveness of the intervention. Uh, to collect data, I used two instruments, a speaking rubric and an observation checklist. All right, the 3R technique. The heart of the study is the 3R technique, read, repeat, and respond. The first stage is read. Here I model the target vocabulary of sentence clearly. So pupils hear correct pronunciation and sentence patterns. The second stage is the repeat. Pupils practice by repeating through whole class, group, or through pair or individual activities. This repeated practice strengthens their pronunciation, fluency, and also their confidence. Finally, pupils move to the response stage where they answer guided questions using complete sentences, allowing them to apply what they have learned in a meaningful communication. This gradual progression makes speaking feel less intimidating and more achievable for low proficiency learners. Okay, now let's move on to the impact of the research. The findings showed positive improvements after implementing the 3R technique. Among the pupils, I observed a better pronunciation, increased confidence, and more active participation during the English lessons. And for me as a teacher, the technique provided a more structured approach to oral practice and encouraged more meaningful classroom interactions. Most importantly, pupils who were once silent gradually became willing to communicate in English. Okay, so why 3R? Why did I choose the 3R technique? Because it is simple, practical, and require no additional cost. It is easy to implement and flexible across different English topics and highly suitable for low proficiency pupils in a combined classroom structure. For example, the teacher first models the sentence. For example, the tiger is the fastest animal. The pupils repeat the sentence together. Then the teacher asks, which animal is the fastest? Finally, the pupils respond confidently using the complete sentence that they have read before. So this simple cycle transforms language input into a meaningful communication. So as a reflection through this action research, I realized that every pupil has the ability to communicate when given the right support. The greatest change was not only in their speaking ability, but also in their confidence and willingness to participate in the lesson. As a teacher, I learned that small, consistent routines can create meaningful learning experiences. Moving forward, I hope to further refine the 3R technique, design more engaging speaking activities, and share this approach with other teachers so that more pupils can benefit from it. In conclusion, the read, repeat, respond technique demonstrates that improving English speaking confidence does not really require expensive resources or complicated methods, techniques. Sometimes a simple routine implemented consistently can create a lasting impact on pupils' learning. And I believe every pupil deserves an opportunity to speak English confidently. Thank you very much for your time and attention. If you have any questions, you're welcome to drop a comment below. Thank you.